Gabrielle, Randy, Death, T.O.B. 4 very different children. 4 out of 26 brothers and sisters. And they all lived in the body of one 28-year-old woman. Beyond these walls is the story of an amazing act of courage, self-rescue, and survival called dissociative identity disorder. I could see them with my own eyes. I could see how they traded places, and this is how they would describe the way the altars would shift. They would look down, and then suddenly there would be someone else before me, and there was no doubt that this was someone very different.
On her book tour for Beyond These Walls, Rachel Gunner speaks out about her multiple personality work and her unorthodox methods.
At any moment in time, I didn't know who I was going to be working with. So I couldn't decide beforehand how I was going to work. I couldn't have an agenda and say, these were going to be the goals of therapy today, or this is what we were going to work on today, because I never knew who I was going to work with. And therefore, I had to be very spontaneous.
So what you're saying is, basically everything you did had to be way outside the box.
At one time, it was Hallows Eve, and they were very petrified that was when Satan was going to come to get them. So that's when I brought them to the house and stayed up all night until it was over to show them that nothing was going to happen. But that little girl that
For her patient, Rachel Gunner was always available, as much a friend and a guide as she was a therapist.
More often than not, the work I did with Hanna and the 26 kids happened in the middle of the night between 1:30 and 3:30 in the morning, because that's when their fears were most extreme. That's when most of the abuse took place. I saw them outside, I saw them in their home, I saw them in my home, I saw them at gas stations, I saw them wherever they needed my help. And I was available at all times. I would work with these children and discover the intolerable abuse, the incest, the satanic abuse, the physical abuse. It was horrifying to me as a mother to imagine a mother and other adults doing this to her children.
When you start to unravel it, were you scared for the person in front of you, whoever that was?
I was, but I do believe that it's a necessary part of healing. So whenever there was an incredible amount of emotion, I would hold them, I would take a deep breath, and I would say, it's going to be okay, you know. Their way of dealing with the pain was to hurt themselves. Really feel the medication was working. Because for them, they believed that they deserved to be punished. They believed that dying was the only way to live. So as therapy progressed, and they began to feel a sense of safety and trust, remarkable shifts began to take place. Hanna, whose name was actually Death, told me that one day she realized that she had started to pray to live. Now you have to know that with her name being Death, her purpose in this system was to find ways to die. And so when she told me that she realized that she had begun to pray to a God to live, it was overwhelming.
After just 2 years of therapy, full integration took place. Now, Rachel Gunner reveals what people need to do to face their struggles.
Never give up hope, no matter how difficult life is. To believe in the healing powers of hope, faith, and loving relationships. And above all, to have the courage to move beyond all our walls, the facades that we put up, to hide our fears, our shame, our guilt, whatever we're not able to deal with. To know that there is another side, and that side will hopefully help us become the people we want to be. And as Hanna has written so eloquently, looking out over the ledge, I see the world with new eyes for the first time. I am a maid, a young woman who is finally letting go and learning to forgive herself for what she did so that she can set her soul free and it can heal.
Beyond These Walls, the true story of a lost child's journey to a whole life.